talk a little bit about two subjects, or two different subjects. One is Virginia Giuffre in her recent passing. Godspeed. She was, abused by Epstein, forced to sleep with all these different dignitaries. She said she was a witness to Bill Clinton having relations with younger girls. I don't believe that, because just a week before that happened, she did an op-ed and she said, "I am not now, nor have I ever been suicidal. If something happens to me, investigate it, because I am not suicidal." And then a week later, she dies over an apparent suicide. I just find that fishy. Plus, she had dirt on the Clintons, and you know how the Clintons make people unalive and say, yeah, because of that accident, doctors had said they'd given her just months to live. But I just thought it was odd that she said just a week previous, "I am not suicidal. I have never been suicidal. Repeat, I am not suicidal." Yeah, but she tells a completely different story than the bus driver. She says that the bus driver came from out of nowhere and hit her. She said at a time of the day when the bus driver is not supposed to be on the road. And remember, Clintons make people disappear by apparent suicides. Like Vince Foster was ruled a suicide because they found a gun in his right hand. Problem is, Vince Foster was left-handed. A left-handed person does not put a gun in their right hand. Yeah, okay. I'm just saying that the suicide is suspicious. And she can't do it by gun in Australia because owning all guns in Australia is illegal. The other subject that I want to talk about is this DC crash. Now, there's a new update on the DC crash that validates what I said all along. I said that the helicopter flew right into the airplane. Okay, the new update shows that the trainer, the warrant officer, 2 minutes before the crash told her, "You are too high. Lower to 200 feet." And she said, "Yes, sir," but she never lowered. Then when they were a minute away from the airplane, he started yelling at her, "Turn left, turn left. Pilot, turn left." She ignored him and flew right into the airplane. Yeah. See, and when you're involved with the Clintons and have, she should have, the way I look at it, with it being the Clintons involved, she should have given that info to her lawyer and told her lawyer, if something happens to me, go public with this. Right. Yeah, that pilot was something else. Craziness. See, and then there was, what's his name? Brown. I forget it. I think it was Ron Brown was the first black Clinton aide, and he was on a mission to Spain, and off the coast of Spain, suddenly an airplane flew into a mountain. Weird stuff happens when the Clintons want you to disappear. That's all I'm saying. So it's just very odd that she penned an op-ed saying she was not suicidal, would never be suicidal, would never under any circumstances take her own life, and then a week later they report her dying of suicide. That's just odd to me, you know what I mean? This person says, "I am not suicidal, will never be suicidal," and a week later dies of suicide. That raises all kinds of red flags, you know what I mean? And as far as the DC crash, well, I feel sorry for all of the victims. We lost an entire generation of young skaters. The Not the current Olympic team, but the upcoming Olympic team was all on that plane. That's just very sad that we lost what I would call an entire generation of skaters. So it wasn't that we lost one or two. There was like 20 something young skaters. You know, we could not have made a more divisive air crash than, you know, well, I shouldn't say divisive. It, one of the articles I read said what this pilot did sets women's aviation back 30 years because now it will be extra judgmental on women that are pilots. Right. She was found unresponsive. Just very sad because, you know, she was abused by Epstein, you know, started when she was 14. Just very sad. And, you know, Epstein was unalived. You don't crush 3 vertebrae in your neck by suicide by hanging. That's not how that works. Jesse Waters from Fox News said his friend is on the more recovery team, and he was tasked to go and pick up Epstein's body. And he said when he got there, he was supposed to be the first one there, but there were 10 other people there in the cell moving things around. So it was staged. It's like Nancy Grace said, he was 6'4" or 6'5", something like that. And the bed was 5 feet tall and was not bolted down. And she said, "You mean to tell me that he jumped off of the top bunk with the rope tied to the corner of the bed and the bed didn't tip over, that his medicine bottles were left neatly placed in a row with the labels facing out?" She said, if that was truly a suicide by hanging, those medicine bottles would be scattered on the floor. Just very odd. I haven't seen Zach. Have you seen Zach? Yeah, I haven't seen him. He hasn't been on here in over a week. When I don't see him like that, I worry about him because I know he has quite a few cats to take care of. Really, I haven't seen that. What's Bezos and Blue Origin in trouble over? Is that over um, Katy Perry? Yeah, yeah, that was a big fake job. They never went to space. If you're going to take somebody to space, take them to space. If you're taking Katy Perry, take her to space and leave her there, right? Yeah, that's what I saw too. It was done in a studio. So weird how people think they can get away with stuff. Yeah, wow. $20 tickets for Beyonce. Well, that's all I got for you today. Sorry it's such a short one, but we'll work on something tomorrow. Yeah, Oprah. Oprah's too much anyhow. Well, we're going to call it quits right here. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.